everyone! It has been a long time since I've vlogged, and recently I have had a lot of time on my hands, especially in the evenings, and I've felt at times really bored, but I haven't wanted to do anything. I have very little motivation. I can sometimes get up to do something, but otherwise I just kind of sit there and I check my phone a lot, or I play games on my phone a lot. And I just didn't seem to have any drive or inspiration to start filming. That's changed in the past couple of days. So today is a day where hubby is at work. I woke up early. I always wake up at 6:30 a.m. and I put on a bit more makeup, and I had done my nails last night, so I did feel like filming today. I have no idea what this vlog is going to be about. I usually have a rough sketch of what I want to talk about in the vlog and potentially what it'll look like in terms of the overall topic, and today it's just I just picked up the camera and decided to record this short clip. Good morning, everyone. It is still really early right now. It's before 6 a.m. I actually woke up at 4 o'clock today. I was just really excited to get up and get started with my day. I think this interest in investments and in what's going on with GameStop has really reignited my zest for life and my excitement about learning. I get this every now and then, you guys have probably noticed, and it kind of goes away as quickly as it comes up for me, but right now I'm still in it, so I'm trying to harness that energy to get a lot of stuff done. I'll be honest, in January I was feeling pretty down. Overall, I was just lacking that pep that I usually have. I think I mentioned in one of my Vlogmas videos that the sparkle wasn't there for the things that I normally love to do or the things that I'm really interested in. And that has come back. This morning I woke up and I really felt like trying a peasant bread recipe, which my colleague actually told me about. Right now I have some yeast just getting activated in some water, and I only had brown sugar, so I used that. And now I'm going to be mixing up the dough. It's supposed to be super easy. I'm hoping it turns out. Here's the recipe I'm using. It's by Alexandra's Kitchen. Instead of making 2 small loaves, I'm going to only make half the recipe and make 1 because I just want to try it out. And I am going to measure out my flour on this scale. 5 grams of salt seems like quite a bit to me, so I just put in like a big pinch. Just gonna mix that up. And then it says to add the water and mix until the flour is absorbed. The recipe says that this is going to be a really sticky dough, and this is a no-knead bread. So I'm just going to mix it with this spatula. Here's the dough. I'm gonna cover it with a tea towel and pop it into a warm oven that's just been preheated for 1 minute, and I'm going to leave it says for at least an hour, so I'm going to check on it in an hour. I think I'm going to use this hour to work on my book. I'm very excited about it. I am on chapter 2 right now. I don't think I've told you much about the book, but it's basically a collection of self-development exercises. So what I'm doing is I'm creating the exercises, and I'm also going through and doing them myself. So it's not so much writing for the book that I'm doing, because there's actually not a whole lot of writing in the book. It's just basically crafting the exercises, and then I do a lot of personal writing and personal reflection to test out the exercises. So it's been a really fun process, and it's exactly what I wanted it to be. I knew I wanted to write a book, but not be so focused on the outcome. I wanted to focus more on the process, both the process of writing the book and the process of self-reflection and self-development. So it's been a lot of fun, and even if the book doesn't go anywhere, I feel like I can use the exercises for a lot of different things, like blog posts and YouTube videos. So I'm super excited. I'm gonna get to it before I lose my motivation and momentum. It's been an hour, but I feel like it's barely risen. It is quite puffy though, so it probably rose a little bit. I think I'm going to let it rise for another half an hour, because the recipe did say to let it rise for at least an hour, and then I'm gonna bake it regardless of what it looks like. It's been another 30 minutes or so, and when I looked at the original video, I think it actually has risen It still looks really small to me, but I think it's fine. Transferred it to a 1.5 liter Pyrex bowl, and it actually just bakes in this bowl. So I greased it really well with butter, and I'm gonna let it rise for another 20 minutes while the oven is preheating. I just took the bread out of the oven and it looks like this. Oh my goodness. It looks really, really good. I'm gonna turn it out and let it cool on this wire rack. I am so excited about this bread because it was literally very, very easy to make. It did stick to the bowl over here, so a bit of it tore away, but the bread itself looks fantastic. Ooh, and you can see where it's stuck to the bowl. I am gonna eat these pieces later, but there were probably little gaps to where I spread out the butter in these sections here. I just ate around a quarter of the loaf of bread and this is what's left. I forgot to vlog, but I do have a couple of photos which I will insert here. But this is what the bread looks like. It is really, really good. I'm just having it with a little bit of butter. It's very chewy on the inside and the outside is nice and crusty. It's delicious and it was so easy. I'm gonna put this on my website and I'll link it down below. I made half the recipe and I also used active dry yeast instead of instant yeast. So I'm gonna be making those modifications on my website, but I always link to my original source. So if you wanna try the original recipe, which makes 2 small loaves and uses instant yeast, you can just go to my website and then you can just click on the link where I show the source. But I am so happy I tried this recipe. I made this interesting concoction for dinner tonight. This is basically like a Thai chicken rice soup, and we got these soup mix packets from that free Campbell's soup place many years ago. So we've had this dry mix in our cupboards for years. I wasn't sure if I should make them, but I didn't want to toss them, so I decided to try it, and it's actually quite good. It's not something I would go out and purchase, I don't think, but considering how long we've had it, it's still very tasty. So what it is it's rice and dehydrated vegetables with a bunch of seasoning. I sauteed some chicken and set that aside, and then using the same pan, I sauteed some onions and some garlic. I put in 2 of those Thai soup mix packs, and then I added a can of coconut oil, a bunch of water, and I cooked that up with some fish sauce as well. I also boiled some frozen vegetables that I had kicking around in the freezer. I had around half a bag of Brussels sprouts left, and I had almost a full bag left of little peas, and so I used half the bag there. So I feel like I used up a lot of stuff today in this dish, and it tastes really good. I also made some steamed rice on the side so I could bump up the calorie content so hubby and I wouldn't be hungry later. But all in all, this is quite a delicious meal that uses up a bunch of stuff in our freezer, in our fridge, and in our cupboards. So I'm very happy about that. I'm still on a mission to use up a lot of food that we have stocked up. So far, I've been pretty good about not stocking up too much, especially on perishable items, but I do still tend to stock up on snacks. That I'm not too concerned about because we go through snacks really, really quickly. We've been a bit better, but we still eat a lot of that stuff. I am going to be baking this today. This is soil, and I have a bunch of it in a bundt pan. I'm going to be adding some water just to moisten it up, and then I'm going to be baking it at 180 degrees Fahrenheit. I bought a little bag of soil in the fall, and turns out it's contaminated. It's growing mold, and I basically scooped it off and used it on some plants anyway because I read online that it should be fine for most plants. 1 or 2 of the plants I used it on is doing okay, but my lucky bamboo is not doing okay. 2 of the stalks are starting to yellow, and before I knew it was contaminated, I tried to use the soil on my watermelon peperomia, and the majority of them have died. I only have 2 left. So this stuff needs to be sterilized, and I read online that a lot of people actually sterilize all their soil before using it on houseplants because it can often be contaminated through the holes in the bag and that sort of thing. So calm. Feels nice, doesn't it? I give you treat after. You get treat after, okay? It's funny when she starts to walk away.
It smells so nice.
Hey everyone, it is Tuesday today and it is hubby's birthday. I am very excited for his birthday. I've kind of wrapped his gift, but I need some tissue paper just to stick into the bag. I ended up getting him the Apple headphones, but I want him to think that I got him food. I put the headphones in an adage bag. They're actually still in the shipping box, and then I just want to get some tissue to put inside because the box sticks out of the bag a bit. I'm gonna pick up his cake as well. I ordered him an ice cream cake from Baskin Robbins, and we also ordered some Japanese food. The restaurant is called Minami, and I ordered a whole bunch of stuff from there. A couple bento boxes and a whole bunch of appetizers and rolls to share. The sun is streaming in really nicely right now. It's not great for the video, but it's really pretty in the condo with the plants at the window. I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm feeling very excited for hubby's birthday, of course, and also for Chinese New Year, Valentine's Day, which we kind of celebrate, but not really. We usually just get takeout. And also there's a Pokemon event coming up that I'm excited about. So lots of stuff in February. The Eat at Home challenge in January went really well. It was very easy. I tried a handful of new recipes and it felt really good just to reset after a very indulgent December where we ate a lot of junk food, as you guys saw, and we also got a ton of takeout because hubby was off for 3 weeks. It was really nice to get back to our regular food routine, and I think when I do the advent calendar again, I'm not gonna go that overboard with sweets. Yeah, I'm still thinking about the excess in December. It's been a really weird time for me. I was working on my investment strategy yesterday because I went totally off track. I had pretty much set up my investment strategy. It's the same as it always is, buy and hold, ETFs. I don't really dabble in individual stocks, but every like 5 to 7 years, I feel like dabbling in individual stocks. It's very strange. It started before the meme stocks. I think what started it was when I purchased a few shares in TSM, which is the company that makes the computer chips for Apple. And I did really well with that stock, and I guess, gained some confidence in terms of individual stocks. And now I have a whole bunch of individual stocks, and I have strayed a bit from my buy and hold strategy. With GameStop, I did lose some money, but thank goodness I only put in a little bit. So my losses were relatively minimal, but it doesn't feel good to lose money. It never feels good to lose money. Fortunately, my other investments have made up the difference, but I was just going through this weird phase. And again, it's cyclical, but I also feel like I was extra reckless this time around. It's so strange because when I was doing my moon planning, it actually warned about having confidence and courage, but also being reckless and impulsive. And I feel like I really went the reckless and impulsive route. I wish I had looked back on my moon planning before I started buying all these individual stocks, because that would have given me pause, and I would have, I think, gone back to my more conservative approach that I have had for 20 plus years. I knew in the back of my mind that it was a distraction, very similar to how I used to shop and just travel excessively as a way to kind of like numb the feelings that I was feeling about not being happy with my job. So I knew that I was doing that, and I started thinking, like, why is this such a draw to me right now? And I have a feeling it was tied up with the grieving process. I was just happy to be like feeling a zest for life again. Here's the feast we ordered for hubby's birthday. We got the beef bento boxes. There's this egg in the middle. Looks really, really yummy. And then we got a chicken side dish. We got this hamachi aburi sushi, some roasted sweet potatoes. This is the sous vide tuna roll. We got this broccoli dish, and then our bento boxes come with miso soup as well. Looks really good.
It's like a cover, like a paper
Oh.
cover thing, cover protecting it.
Oh, I see.
Probably.
Hi, Lulu. Okay, okay. Hi. Hi, Lulu.
Holy, I don't hear anything.
You don't?
Is the TV on? Like,
Yeah.
is there noise?
You don't hear it? What's that?
I could barely hear you.
Oh.
You hear the TV?
I can hear the TV.
Yeah. Maybe I must have pressed something when I took it off. I couldn't hear anything.
Couldn't? I could barely hear you. Hey everyone, so the soil seemed to turn out okay. It's been a few days and I don't see any mold growing on it, so hopefully I sterilized it properly. These are the 2 watermelon peperomia I have left. This one is planted in some bad soil, but every time I see a bit of mold, I just try to scoop it off. And so far it's been surviving, but the rest have not made it. And then this one I think is still planted in the good soil because I never see any mold on this one, and this is the bigger of the 2. And I feel like there is another little leaf growing out from the side here, so that's pretty exciting. So I will keep an eye on these and hopefully these 2 will make it. I did use the sterilized soil to propagate 2 spider plants from a single mother plant. That mother plant is giving me a lot of babies, this one in particular being a really big baby. And then I have 2 other little babies planted together here. And I did use Truffle's bowl as a little dish for this guy. And then I also propagated one of my pothos vines. The other vines I propagated are doing really, really well. English ivy is not doing so well. I think the condo is way too dry. I was on Darryl Cheng's website and he said that English ivy is really difficult to grow indoors because it always thins out at the top and it just becomes really dry. Often it gets spider mites. I don't have spider mites, thank goodness, but it is very thin on the top now. It used to have tons of foliage at the top. Some of the vines are still pretty healthy and full, but there's a lot of dryness happening. So I don't know if the English ivy is going to make it. I'm gonna water this one today and maybe I'll prune it back and that may help with the fullness on top. I just got back from my walk and my cheeks are frozen. I think I'm gonna start wrapping up the vlog in this clip. Hubby's birthday yesterday was really nice. We just had a very laid back evening. We had the Japanese food, which was really good. The only dishes I was iffy about were the hamachi oshi sushi. That was a little bit fishy. The other thing that I wish was included was just a little bit of rice because that braised beef portion of the bento box had so much delicious sauce in it. And I ended up making some steamed rice because I thought it would be good with the sauce, and it really was. The other pieces of oshi sushi were so good. I think my favorite one was the prawn one, and I also really loved the other 2, which were albacore tuna and sockeye salmon. The ice cream cake was delicious. I got the peanut butter and chocolate flavor with a fudge topping, and I asked for the gentleman at Baskin-Robbins to do like a giant 44 because that's how old Hubby turned yesterday. It didn't turn out exactly as I imagined it, but the gentleman at Baskin-Robbins was so nice. I really like Baskin-Robbins because they have so many different flavors and you can customize the cakes. I was originally gonna get the mint chocolate one, but when I saw the peanut butter flavor and knowing how much hubby loves peanut butter, I decided to go with that. The rest of the night, we basically just hung out on the couch and we watched a couple of episodes of The Crown. So we are all done with season 3 and we're going to be diving into season 4. Whenever we have a few hours, we like to watch a couple of episodes, but tonight there's a hockey game on, so we probably won't watch any tonight. Chinese New Year is in a couple of days. Tomorrow is actually New Year's Eve. So if you celebrate the Lunar New Year, I want to wish you a very happy New Year. I've already done a bit of cleaning in preparation for the New Year. I did most of the cleaning on Monday night, and there are just a few things I want to do here and there, like sweep, vacuum, and wipe the counters. I'll do that probably tomorrow on New Year's Eve, and then on New Year's Day, it's custom not to do any cleaning because you don't want to sweep away your fortunes. But I'm probably not going to clean again until I start my 30-day deep cleaning challenge, which is going to happen as of February 18th, so I can finish by the first day of spring. We are almost there. This has been kind of a mild winter here in Toronto. It is a little bit chilly this week, but overall, I mean, knock on wood, it hasn't been too bad. I think that's going to be it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!